let Jackie. Good.
Oh, we've been recording. No worry. We can hear it. So I don't know if I have to. The May 6th Board of Zoning Adjustment meeting is hereby called to order. We could have a submittal of exhibits for the record, please.
Jason Halterman, Assistant Director of Planning and Zoning. I would like to submit the following exhibits for tonight's record. They are the Platte County Zoning Order of 1990 as amended, Platte County Subdivision Regulation of 1992 as amended, Platte County Land Use Plan, Platte County Roads Master Plan, all PowerPoint presentations, aerial map, site plan, and plat shown here tonight, as well as the Board of Zoning Adjustment bylaws.
Thank you.
Right. Agenda item 3 is a variance request concerning 2 acres located at 19505 Lane Tree Drive. Curtis Prather is seeking a variance to Article 2, Section 400.140, subsection D3 of our zoning order, which establishes the minimum rear yard setback requirement of 50 feet for an accessory structure in the RE, which is the Real Estate Zoning District. He wishes to construct a 30 by 30 foot detached garage on his property at the end of his driveway. He has stated, by adhering to the 50-foot setback regulation, the proposed driveway or apron to the garage will interfere with the natural slope and drainage of the lot to the northeast of the required site. A 30-foot setback from the east property line would allow natural drainage to remain undisturbed. The applicant has also stated the request would allow the existing drainage on the lot to be undisturbed and would require less site disturbance. According to a site plan that was submitted in your staff reports, that proposed garage would sit 30 feet from the rear or eastern property line. It would sit 15 feet from the southern property line, which meets the side yard setback. Therefore, the applicant is requesting a variance of 20 feet from the 50-foot minimum rear yard setback requirement for an accessory structure in the Real Estate Zoning District. To get your bearings, here we are in central Platte County. This is I-29, the E highway that runs to the east towards Cannon Point. This is Lane Tree Drive, which intersects with E highway and runs to the south. That's what the cul-de-sac. This is the property outlined here in yellow. So the close-up view of the property. This is the site plan that was submitted in staff report. These are some additional exhibits that he submitted. This shows the kind of an aerial with his desired location of a 30 by 30 foot garage. This shows where that would be located if he was with that 50-foot setback. It would be up onto his actual driveway, interfering with the drainage. This is a photo that he submitted showing that drainage. You can see the water sitting here in his yard that's draining off the property. Upon visiting the site, staff observed the following conditions. Like I said, the property is located at 19505 Lane Tree Drive, has an existing dwelling. It slopes from the east down to Lane Tree Drive on the west. It contains actually 2 driveways. One driveway on the northern side does not get all the way to Lane Tree Drive anymore. The southernmost driveway does. Gravel driveway surface up to a concrete, forms a hammerhead. That detached garage will be at the end of this hammerhead of his driveway, which you can see on the aerial. This property does back up to 5 acres of private open space maintained by and owned by the Lane Tree Lakes Homeowners Association. So it actually gives an appearance of a deeper rear yard setback. Nothing's going to be built in this open space. I didn't put it in the staff report, but Lane Tree Lakes is a unique subdivision. It was what we call planned unit development. So the base zoning is real estate, which actually requires minimum 5 acre lot sizes. Well, this lot's only 2 acres. But the overall density, when you configure in the open space with all the varying lot sizes, average out to a 5 acre minimum lot size. So if this was just a straight zone subdivision, this 2 acre lot would be zoned R80, and that rear yard setback would only be required to have 20 feet for an accessory structure. So, but they established their own setbacks in a PUD, and the developer back in the early 90s chose to go with real estate setbacks. So he's seeking a variance from that setback requirement. He does have a letter of support from his homeowners association, which was included in your staff reports. I had a message from a neighbor, a phone call from a neighbor to the east that stated no issues with his request. Proving the variance would allow the construction of his garage in his desired location. The applicant is requesting a variance of 20 feet from the 50-foot minimum rear yard setback requirement for an accessory structure in the real estate district. I'm available for any questions you may have.
Are there any questions of staff? Is the applicant present? So, and anybody that's going to speak tonight, I didn't swear everyone in at first. We can do that all at one time if you want. So anybody that's going to speak tonight, if you'd stand up and raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. We're done with that. So please step forward and state your name and address. Yes, that'd be great.
Kurt Prather, 19505 Lane Tree Drive, Platte City, Missouri.
And how long have you owned the property for, roughly?
2013.
2013, okay. And then I'm assuming nobody to your sides have expressed a concern on that. I guess it'd be more the person to the south that would have the bigger, it kind of backs up to their property more than it, the way that it's off the other street, 194th.
Correct. And personal discussions I've had with them, all of my neighbors, none of them are opposed
Okay.
to neighbors to the south.
The homeowners have also, the homeowners association, or whatever you want to call that, have also signed off on it, correct?
Yes, the design review committee is made up of 3 members of the area. And they review any designs or say the garage or any other improvements for lots. So they're all 3 in agreement with the variance request. As attached, as the attached letter shows.
Are there any other questions of the applicant? Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience to speak for or against the application? Are there any other comments, questions from anybody? Otherwise, we'd be looking for a motion to grant the variance as submitted.
I motion to grant the variance as submitted.
Second.
So motion, a second, any further discussion? All those in favor of granting the variance? 4-0 against, the variance passes.
Agenda item 4 is a request for a variance concerning 2.37 acres located approximately 500 feet east of the Northwest Valley Knee Drive and Northwest Bluegrass Drive intersection. Greg Porter is seeking a variance to Article 2, Section 400.170, subsection D4 of our zoning order, which establishes the minimum street frontage requirement of 50 feet for the construction of a single-family dwelling in the R25, which stands for Single Family Large Lot Zoning District. The applicant is also seeking a variance to Article 3, Section 400.330, subsection 4, which states dwellings can only be erected on lots that abut an existing public or private street. This 2.37 acre lot is landlocked. The applicant is seeking a variance from these requirements in order to apply for a building permit for the construction of one single family dwelling on the property. The applicant has stated, I'm asking to allow to use the gravel private drive that would extend from the end of the paving at 7555 Northwest Bluegrass Drive to a point 65 feet east of our parcel's west property line. Private drive would connect our parcel's driveway to the south of the existing right of way for Northwest Bluegrass Drive. The applicant has also stated, we understand the special road district will not maintain this private drive. We will provide all necessary maintenance to this drive. As I stated, this property is landlocked. It's accessed by public right of way. There is currently a private driveway extending through this public right of way. Now, due to the fact that there's no public road frontage, the road was never installed in the right of way. Bluegrass Drive was never built. We won't issue a building permit for a dwelling without a variance being granted by the Board of Zoning Adjustment. He is currently constructing an accessory structure on the property that does not require a variance. It's not a dwelling. So he is building. There is a driveway to access that already. He's went to the road district. The road district give them their blessing to have that private drive with no expectation of their maintenance. So all the maintenance is on him. And there's another family that received a variance in about 2004, 2005 for the same thing. And they use this public right of way as well. The applicant is seeking a variance of 50 feet from the street frontage requirement, and as well as a variance that states you can only build on a lot that does not abut an existing public or private street. Get your bearings. We are in the southern portion of Platte County. It's kind of a donut of the area, just a pocket of unincorporated county. City of Kansas City to the north, Parkville to the south. Flatwoods is in the area as well. This is the property outlined here in yellow. It's a closer view of the property. This is that public right of way. See the property pretty heavily treed. He has cleared some trees to build his accessory building, but he has extended this private drive to his property already for that accessory structure. This is kind of a little map and key of site plan of what he intends to do. And he also has some pictures that correspond with these numbers on that site plan. As you can see, his proposed dwelling is in this location right here. His existing accessory structure currently under construction is located here towards the rear. This was picture number one. This is facing Bluegrass Drive. So this is how you get into the property. This is from the point of going to his property from Bluegrass Drive. This is the gravel driveway he's installed in that right of way to access his accessory structure currently. This is just kind of the layout of where the proposed lines are, based on his on-site conditions.
So what you're saying is there is a right of way, public right of way.
Yes,
But there isn't a road.
correct. No public road. So if they would, back when this neighborhood was developed, they didn't, whatever reason, the developer didn't build that road. And it's sat there vacant, and there's a private driveway through there, and that it's not uncommon for that to happen. It happens in unincorporated county, but when people want to build a house on that property, they got to come to the BZA to obtain a variance. Yeah, there were, 6 or 8 individual lots that made up this 2.37 acres, and he has since replatted that into one single lot. So there aren't individual lots back there on this particular piece anymore. He combined all those into one 2.37 acre lot. Upon visiting the site, staff observed the following conditions. The property is not visible from the intersection of Valley View Drive and Bluegrass Drive. Like I said, he'd access it from that public right of way. I told you it's never been installed. This existing driveway is located with that right of way. It currently serves the property located at 7555 Northwest Bluegrass Drive. He would extend from the end of that to his property. He is currently constructing that accessory structure. Property is heavily treed and contains a portion of a pond. Proving the variance would allow the applicant to apply for a building permit for his construction. The applicant is seeking a variance 50 feet from that street front requirement of 50 feet in R25, as well as variance that states dwelling can only be constructed on a lot that abuts an existing public or private street. Nobody else any additional questions?
Are there any questions of staff? Kind of one point of clarification is he doesn't need an easement, doesn't need anything because it's permanent.
Correct. Yeah, there's no easement needed. It's public right.
Public right of way. Yeah.
The road district approved he issued a driveway permit to extend from the existing driveway that was there. But again, all maintenance is on him. The road district will not spend public funds to maintain his private driveway.
Is the applicant present this evening? Please step forward. Please state your name and address.
Greg Porter, 3418 Starry Night Loop, Castle Rock, Colorado. And
Okay. And it sounds like we've heard a lot of what you're doing already, but we normally bring applicants up if anybody has any questions. Sounds like you've been on the property for a little while, and this is a plan of yours to.
it is, and as Jason mentioned, we've combined 4 lots already. We own 3 more to the north of this property that we're going to combine as well. And the right of way that extends where those 2 properties abut, at some point we will ask to vacate so that that's no longer a public right of way. And I don't know, it just takes some question out of how that property is arranged. But as Jason mentioned, there is a private drive that was installed 20 years ago, something along those lines. in that right of way for bluegrass. We're just looking to extend that to our property so we can build our house.
And then you're building a barn. It sounds like you called it a warehouse or
Just a barn, yeah.
Barn, okay.
Accessory building.
are there any questions of the applicant? No. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience to speak for or against the application? Do we have any other comment or questions? So if not, we would actually have two variances to approve as submitted. If I'm reading that right. So
You make one in one motion.
we make them under one motion if you desire. Or
I would move to grant that both of those under the same motion as stated in front of us.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor of granting both variances? 4-0 against, the variances pass. Next is approval of minutes, and I think we were all here. Does anybody have any corrections or updates? We have a motion to accept the minutes as submitted.
Don't move.
A motion, a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so we're done with that. Other business, Jason?
We need to schedule a special meeting. We have a couple applications that need to be heard. We're checking on your availability for, let's shoot for maybe the 17th of June or maybe the 23rd. 23rd, I think might work out better because it's a Tuesday. I think Darren, you said you had softball on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays.
Yep,
So
I know you played softball there.
I do not,
he's the coach.
but I'm the coach.
He's the coach. So
So I gotta be there.
yeah, so we would like to schedule that for June 23rd at 6 p.m. in this room. If that works for you guys.
Yes.
Let me look. Because June 23rd may not do me any good either. Yeah, it will.
June 23rd. We'll schedule it for June the 23rd then.
Okay. So we have someone in the audience with their hand up. If it's sure, if you want to come forward and keep it brief, we don't really discuss stuff before the meeting, but please state your name and address.
Yeah, we haven't noticed for a public hearing on the item. If you want to talk about the date of the hearing, that's fine.
That's about all we can talk about. So, but you might state your name and address.
My name is John Carter, 8650 Northwest Highway N, Kansas City, Missouri. Mailing address, Parkville Residence, 64153. I would like to discuss, or I would like to ask the board if they would hear a procedural issue regarding the zoning order, specifically the Board of Zoning Adjustment regulations. This is an important issue, and I feel it affects citizens' rights, legal rights in Platte County. And since I did not file the appeal, I wish the board would hear what has to be said about this procedural issue and the importance of it and why the special meeting is being requested.
And we can talk about that at the right time. This board's not equipped to get into the regs and all that. So that's gonna be, this board's not equipped to get into the regs. You need to work with staff on that and our county council if needed. I mean, we're not going to talk about that tonight. So, but we have a special meeting set, it sounds like. Thank you for
That's at
speaking.
6, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there any other business? Otherwise, we will stand adjourned. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Make it to the next meeting now. Oh, I'm not going to that one. I'm going to an ugly rotary, which I'd rather go to the dentist than that. So, oh yeah, that's gonna be better. Yeah, that's gonna be much better than what I. Yep, we'll see you.